So, Bridge.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We did that last time.
Oh, shoot. Never mind.
Sex in the City.
Wait, what is the length on how long you could say Happy New Year? Is it?
Oh, I think I'm like done.
Is it like a week?
I think I'm done with it already.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you could say to me, but like when I went into work last week, it was like all the children are saying that, and I'm like, I get it. We gotta move on, guys. We gotta move on.
So sorry. Okay.
New year, new movies, same Katie, because I saw a weird ass movie that I want to recommend.
Let's hear it.
Fucking weird. Guys, I saw Nosferatu. Anyone surprised that I went to see that? It was great.
I don't know what that is.
Why don't you know what that is? Why don't you know what that is?
Am I typing in like nose? Like Nose?
Nose. Nosferatu.
Okay. What is it?
It's basically knockoff Dracula, but it was like...
Oh, that's why I don't know this. I'm not... This is horror.
It's gothic horror, Bridge. And it's a little bit of a love story, dare I say. And by love, I mean, you know... We get hypnotized and then blackmailed into love. And Lily Rose Depp is
I love her.
She's really fucking good.
Oh, that's great.
Nicholas Hoult is her husband, who for half the movie is like in a haunted house attraction by himself screaming. That's like what I imagine you would be like if you went to Six Flags Fright Fest. That's what he does for half the movie.
I'm him.
And
okay.
William Dafoe's in it, and he's like a crazy, maniacal, like, yeah, let's kill Nosferatu. And Nosferatu is played by Bill Skarsgård. And he was also really good because they're like in Germany. I mean, he's in Transylvania because he's like Dracula. But like his voice, like if you like watch a clip or you listen to it, like it does not sound like him at all. Like I was like, oh my God, is that his voice? And like it was his voice. He was like acting.
Oh.
And it was, I didn't think it was scary. I mean, it was like spoopy themes. It was like really beautiful, like cinematography. And the director did the movie The Witch, which I'm sure you did not see, Bridge, but that was really good too.
Oh, the latest Witch?
The Witch, yes. With Anna...
Anne Hathaway?
No, Taylor-Joy. Anna Taylor-Joy was in it.
Oh, so it's not like The Witch is with little mice. Okay.
Oh, no. This was like, they're in Puritan times. This director likes to do movies that are about stories from like olden days, but like different cultures. So it's like we did Puritan times with The Witch, and then they did like olden days at a lighthouse, and then he did The Northman, which was like olden day Vikings, and then this was like olden day vampire Dracula, Nosferatu, and they're great. So
what does Nosferatu stand for?
You know, that's a question, because that's actually not the vampire's name, but then William Dafoe at one point goes, it's Nosferatu, and then they all just keep saying it. And I looked at Mary, because shout out Mary, her sister Mary, I saw it with her, and I was like, what is that? And she was like, I don't know, we'll have to Google it. And I don't remember if we did, but that's just the name.
Wow.
And I do also have appreciation for movies that if you're going to show me a lady boob, I like to see a male equivalent, and there is a peen, but it may or may not be the vampires, and that's a lot. So
it's a vampire peen. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a quick shot, but it's there.
Wow.
We synced it. We love equality. I don't know.
Well, the word Nosferatu is used in Dracula to describe vampires, meaning undead.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
All right.
Highly recommend, y'all. It's fucking weird.
Put the garlic around your door. Lily Rose Depp is coming to town.
She's coming to town, and she might have sex with you if you have a mustache. Think about it. Just saying. All right.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
I'm Cher. It's Brooklyn. It's 1987.
I wish your hair was down and all ringlets. Oh.
God, I just got my hair done.
Oh my God. Can I tell you when the movie
I put on some
started?
lipstick.
Literally when the movie started, I go, oh no, Cher cut her hair for this role. I'm so upset. I thought she had like short hair, but she fucking didn't, thank God.
Thank God.
I'm sweating. Wow. Welcome back, listeners.
Hi, guys.
I'm going to introduce ourselves because we're not Cher, unfortunately.
Do you believe
in love and love? Okay. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And snap out of it! That was a loud slap she does there. Yeah, Bridge, what's the movie this week? It
is from 1987, starring Cher.
Woo!
Moonstruck.
Yeah.
Can we talk about some awards?
She won, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Academy Awards.
Holy fuck. Wait, what were the other
Picture.
Ones? Oh my God, Best Picture?
I'm sorry. Nominee, Best Picture. I lied about all this.
Oh my God.
Best Picture nominee. Winner was Cher in a leading role.
Yes, I do remember that.
Best Actor, Supporting Role nominee.
Nick Cage.
Winner, Best Actress, Supporting Role, Olympia
the mom.
Dukakis. Yeah. Nominee, Best Director, and winner for Best Writing. So 3 Academy Awards.
Was it original screenplay or adapted?
Screenplay. It says Best Writing Screenplay written directly for the screen. What does that mean?
That's original.
Okay.
It's not adapted.
Okay. There you are.
Wow. Okay, that's super interesting because you made a comment last episode when you recommended this that you weren't sure if you saw this. I definitely had not seen this before this watch.
I didn't either.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't either. So fresh eyes for the two of us. For a fresh year, 2025 eyes.
Wow.
I tell you.
Oh, I mean, it's a time, I'll tell you. And,
what? Whose synopsis is
It's me. It's me.
Hi. It's me.
Synopsis. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys. Well, we do have Cher. Her hair is not short, thank God. I was sweating. But
wait.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
New Year, same interruption. It's fine.
The ADHD is ADHDing. Yo, Dave Coleman. My Dave Coleman.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Dave.
The writer of Moonstruck just wrote for him in a
God.
film he directed. And I'm just reading this. John Patrick Shanley, who did Moonstruck, also wrote for Dave Coleman's latest short, The Wake.
Guys, Dave Coleman was on our Mighty
Ducks episode.
I think it was Mighty Ducks 2 episode. 2. He was Mighty Ducks 2. Check him out. He's a famous actor.
Wow. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just made that connection at this moment. So I hope you can edit it so I don't sound so annoying.
I hope in Dave Coleman's short, the writer wrote where someone gets slapped really hard and they said, snap out of it. All right, so we got Cher. Cher's a lady. Cher's in her, apparently it's late 30s, we find out at some point. Cher's got a job. She's a working lady. She does like the accounting, something tech, something, I don't know. All these businesses. She lives in New York. She lives in Brooklyn. She's Italian, singing Italian songs.
Oh my God.
And we find out she has a, quotation marks, boyfriend.
That's air quotes.
Friend.
Katie's using air quotes.
Questionable friend.
Yep.
Dare I say. And right away, he's like, will you marry me? No, I don't have a ring and I won't kneel down.
I can't.
And she's like, I guess. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I'm about to flip a table right now, Cher.
By the way, the real Cher would never accept that.
Absolutely not, no. Although the real Cher would make that man kneel down, but then she would reject him. And I'm like, love the move. It's a power move. I love it. But basically, you meet her family. She's got a very quirky family. She lives with her parents, and they also live with grandpa. And then they have an aunt and uncle that are local, and we're all, like, good buddies, and life is great. But basically, she's like, I'm engaged, and they're all like, ugh, he sucks. But, like, fine, get married. Who cares? We're Italian, so I guess that means get married. And the guy's like, hey, gotta go to Italy. My mom's dying. I know we just got engaged, but, like, I also don't care. Remember that? And I want you to invite my brother to the wedding. My brother hasn't spoken to me in 5 years.
And you go do the dirty work.
Yeah, you do it. I won't tell anyone. You deal with it. And then Cher's like, son of a bitch, I guess I will because I'm Cher. And guess what, guys? The brother his name is Ronny. And he is played by Nick Cage. And
his face is on.
Is Nick Cage playing himself, dare I ask?
Absolutely.
Always and forever. I believe he is.
I thought he was hot.
He's a young Nick Cage. He got hot when he, like, took a shower. And I was like, okay.
Totes.
Like, I don't need to see your sweaty chest hair. I'm good.
True.
But basically, they right away are like, ooh, let's, like, hang more. And then Cher's like, I'm into it. And he's like, me too. And then they bone. And then it basically is like, hey, let's keep doing that. And Cher's like, I feel horrible because I cheated on my fiance with his brother. And he's like, who the fuck cares? Let's go to the opera. And she's like, okay, you pulled my leg. Let's do it. And meanwhile, while that is, I guess by definition, a cheating subplot, there's like 8 other cheating subplots.
So many cheating.
With her family. Like her dad is cheating on her mom. And then the mom at one point almost cheats on the dad. And then grandpa's there too. And he just watches and he's a bystander. Okay?
With his dogs.
There's a lot. And it's kind of a lot of scenes that are very, like, quirky. And I was like, are these people crazy? Like, there were a lot of lines where I was like, is there a gas leak? Because I'm worried. But then, in the end, we find love and we dump the loser dude because he's a loser. And he's like, never mind, my mom's alive. Let's not get married. And then she breaks it off with him. And then right next to him is Nick Cage. Nick Cage's like, okay, will you marry me now? And she's like, definitely. And I was like, thank fucking God.
I was not prepared for that ending.
It was a lot happening because we were all in one room. You know, this movie really did feel like it could have been made into a play because I was like, you got like a core group of like 7, 8 people. And like, I guess you have different places you go to, but not a lot. Like we're all inside this house a lot of the time. So I gotta say though, it was weird, but I didn't hate it.
I loved it.
But maybe my theme of 2025 is just that I like weird things. And is anyone surprised?
I mean, everything I read about this movie was Cher and others thought this is gonna bomb. This is like such a weird. Nicolas Cage was like, why am I playing this role? This is a weird role for me to play. I'm not. This is stupid.
Because he gets to be a crazy person in a bakery.
Well, and then they all like killed it. And years later, they're like, damn, we were so wrong. Like, this was like a hit.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I saw, and it was very niche. Like, I would think if you're like in a big Italian family, dare I say, maybe some of this is relatable, you know? Like, maybe the dynamics or the expectations or...
Because I think you were like, how old is she in her 30s? I think she was like 38.
She said, yeah, it was something like that.
38, and she lived with her parents.
But she had a backstory where she was married for 2 years or with a guy for 2 years, and he died. And she was like, I got bad luck, so I gotta get married again, but like different. And I was like, well, don't marry that jabroni. Come on. My God.
Jabroni is the perfect description for him.
He is.
He is a New Jersey jabroni.
He's a New York jabroni, Bridge. Back up. 2025. Do not perpetuate the New Jersey stereotypes. I don't want to hear it. Okay?
Here's the deal. As she falls in love with Nicolas Cage, her hair gets better. I'm going to tell you, if your friend's hair is getting worse, they got to break up with the guy. If the hair is getting better, there's love in the air.
That's right.
I'm just going to say this right now.
Hair equals love.
That's it. That's the equation.
That's the fucking equation.
Because her hair was amazing.
His hair got better too. He
Absolutely.
brushed it, and I think
he showered. He
like shaved his like I don't know mustache. Maybe I don't know.
He made him seem like he was working under the Titanic, putting coals in a fucking bakery. I was like, why are they so intense? Like, right? Okay, wait. Let's talk about his stupid hand subplot. Or wait, should we go chronologically? Like, how should we do this?
I do love a chronological.
Okay, let's do it.
But if we do that, that does mean we very quickly are going to talk about the loser boyfriend who's not a boyfriend.
So, okay, let's talk about his name. So this is Danny Aiello, who is Johnny
Camper. Caginelli, Campatina, Camerari.
Meatball. It's Johnny Meatball.
Is he? I didn't recognize that actor. Is he from stuff?
He's from a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I think he was in some of the Godfathers. Let me see here. Hold on.
He was in Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. Was he in any of the Godfathers?
Well, Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
He appeared in numerous motion pictures, including The Godfather Part 2.
That sounds right.
He looks Italian.
He's
a very Italian mobster guy. So,
yeah.
But first of all, two brothers named Johnny and Ronnie. I can't. Katie, what
Johnny
if we were
and
Katie
Ronnie?
and Beatty? Katie and Beatty. Katie and Lady. Katie and Sadie. I mean, what if we were Katie and Sadie? I can't.
Not that.
So Johnny, he is this kind of, I think people make fun of him because he's like a man-child. He's a baby, right?
Okay, but I didn't know that.
Vibe?
I didn't know that right away. And then, like, slowly, people were like, he cries all the time. And then Cher's like, I had to buy your clothes for you. And then he doesn't know, like, to, like, carry his luggage with him. And then I was a little worried about his, like, brain. Like... I mean, I don't know. Like, I was like, what's the message?
His whole character is like, I'm just gonna like quickly ruin the movie really fast, but his whole character is like, Loretta, who's Cher, how do you take care of me like a mommy?
Ew.
So I'm gonna propose to you, and then I leave you, new mommy, to go to my real mommy who's dying. And then when I find out my real mommy survives, I'm going to break up with you because my real mommy's alive and I have my real mommy and I don't need a new mommy. And so then we're going to break up, but then you just end up with my brother who I had a feud with for 5 years. I'm like, that is
correct.
Who is taking that acting part? That is a horrible character. I can't.
I thought he was like super rich. I was like, oh, are we going with the like, we hate him, he's like annoying and not attractive, but he's rich? But then no, I think he's just a guy. And I was like, Cher!
I think she kind of had this thing of like, it's 1987 context and I'm getting old at 38 and I'm just going to marry whoever. And her mother says a great line, which I go back and forth on this about. I'm sorry, I'm a cynic, but she's like, hey, do you love him? And she goes, no. She goes, perfect. No. She goes, perfect. That's exactly who you should marry. You always don't want to love someone you marry. And I was like, listen, I know that's not what people should say. However, practically,
Bridge,
you have a lot. I'm sorry, but there's like a little more like, if you're somebody that falls in love and you lose your mind, sorry, but like there's some practicality to that, okay? I thought she was pretty smart, Rose the mama. But yeah, he was like a dud. Like he was like duddy.
Such a dud. He didn't have a ring. He didn't like kneel down. He brought out a dessert tray, and then I was like, oh, a ring's going to be in the dessert? No. Why was the dessert tray there?
How do you not have a ring?
Did he want propose? A brownie? Yeah, I don't understand. I was like, okay. And I want to mention this now because it's foul, but still applicable today, where in this restaurant, there is an old man who's on a date with a younger woman. He's a professor. We come to find he's dating students, so you all just figure that out. And this student yells at him and throws like water in his crotch, and it's this whole big scene, and you're like, that's super weird. Like, I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. And then we like see him multiple times in the movie. I was like, oh.
And then he ends up like almost making out with the mom.
There's just a lot of moments where you're like, so is everybody's relationships and connections weird? Is that what you want me to believe? Because I guess that's true. But
the only ones that were kind of cute was the aunt and uncle.
Oh, I love them.
They were pretty cute. The aunt and uncle.
They were cute. Well, listen, they get engaged and they do not kiss on the mouth or anywhere. And I don't think I didn't notice. And then, he goes to Italy on a plane. And Bridge, this was my favorite scene. One of. Cher's like, okay, bye, man, baby. I guess, like, I held your hand to the airport because I don't know your literacy levels. And there's an old lady standing at the window, and she looks at Cher. And I was like, is this me in the future? She goes, you know someone on that plane? She was like, yeah, my fiance. And she goes, well, I put a curse on that plane. Because my sister's on that plane, and I just cursed it. It's going to crash and explode. And then Cher just looks at her.
You're going to put a curse on my plane?
Not you. No, I wouldn't do it to my sister, but maybe someone else. Who knows? Or I'll just tell people I did that while I'm wearing, like, you know, a babushka or whatever she was. and that's it. So
babushka.
It was just, like, so fucking random.
Cher, literally, anytime anyone said anything to Cher, it was the most, she lived in New York. It was the most absurd things. She would deeply take in what they were saying. Yeah. And then on her face be like, do I believe this or not? And you saw her take in the curse and she was like, you know, I don't believe in curses. I was like, I'm sorry, but if I'm next to a lady that's talking about cursing on the airplane, I'm flighting. I've left the conversation.
We've seen Final Destination.
I'm out of here.
I gotta go.
I'm out of here.
It's just a lot happening.
Oh my God.
Then we go and meet her family. And I didn't know Grandpa was Grandpa. I thought he was like an old man tenant who didn't speak English. Then I found out it's Grandpa. So cool. I didn't understand the dad and the mom right away because the dad's like by himself. And she's like, where's Ma? He's like, she's sleeping. And then the mom is like, he never like hangs out with me. And I was like, okay, so we hate each other. So it was a lot.
Why do we call the dad Cosmo by his first name and not Dad?
Is that a real name, though?
That was his name, Cosmo Castorini.
Did you ever watch The Fairly Odd Parents?
yes, Cosmo.
Because, like, that's what I think of with Cosmo.
Literally, let's just take a pause for our dad who grew up in Brooklyn and dated, what was her name? Like,
Wasn't
Karen...
Karen, God, something Italian.
She was like part of the mob boss family. Yes. And Dad like dated her and he talked about how he couldn't go down their block because he was Irish and they were Italian. But because he was dating Karen, they like protected him on the block.
So
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But then you watch movies like this and you're like, well, I guess it was that stupid.
It was, apparently, because there was a lot of talk how their family owned the entire house and they were rich because the dad was a plumber. And then you're kind of like, are plumbers rich people? And then there's just a clip of the dad being like, it's going to be $10,000. I was like, $10,000 in the 80s? That's like $1 billion or something. That's wild. Like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah.
I do think that is a thing, though. Like, New York City plumbers are loaded because...
Oh, really?
Because
everything's just old and you gotta, like...
Well, everything's old and everything's an emergency, so you're going to pay for whatever, so, like, the flooding doesn't ruin your house.
Yeah.
Preventative plumbing, guys. I'm just saying. Look into it.
Okay,
so here's the deal. The dad was the worst, okay?
Yeah, I didn't like him.
He was not supportive of Cher. He was cheating on the mom the whole time. When he got caught, his only response was, my life is empty, and then I love you. And then we move on? Fuck yourself.
He also slapped a table, and I was like, that's a threat. I will call the cops. Don't think I won't. Don't think Grandpa won't stick a dog on you.
I'm going to take Nicolas Cage's fake hand and slap you across the face.
Yes.
He was so... I'm sorry, but, like, I just hated that character. I'm like, you're ugly, you're ungrateful, and your wife is the shit, and you treat her like garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we established that. Then we meet the mom. The mom is Olympia Dukakis.
She was in
Dukakis?
Bridge. We had a movie that she was in. Do you remember? It was a movie you didn't like.
Oh, God. Which one?
You were pregnant when we did it.
Oh, God. Oh, that was light years ago.
It has to do with babies. It was Look Who's Talking.
Oh!
she was Kirstie Alley's mom in that. So she likes to be some moms, but she wasn't super Italian.
Wait, so this movie, though, like, she was kind of losing faith in acting. She'd always been in theater, and this movie, like, put her on the map.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, and did you ever see Steel Magnolias?
Oh, yeah. That came after this.
Me up. And so she's great in that.
If you look at her, like, career history, she started in 1960s and just very, very sporadically worked 60s, 70s, 80s, and hits Moonstruck.
Wow.
So, like, an older actor hits it, then does Look Who's Talking, then does Steel Magnolia.
Oh, my God.
And then Naked Gun. Mr. Holland's Opus, excuse me.
Wow.
God, I just feel like there's a ton of other, like, random-ass movies that she always kind of gets herself into. Got into some TV, too. But she is one that, when you read a lot about her for this film, like, she was somebody that believed in it from the start and was like super into it and was like, this is it, this is my claim to fame, and like this was the role I always needed. And then she also won an Academy Award for this.
I love that,
which is so fucking cool, right?
Well, I liked her character. I did feel like it was a little stereotypical Italian. Italian, where it's like, well, I'm the mom and I gotta cook for everybody and I gotta just shut up, and you know, my husband's mean to me, and I was like, I hate this.
I hated it too, but she was kind of funny because she was on this like really interesting journey where with Cher, she's like, you know, oh, you love him? Oh, fuck him. Because, you know, basically she was like, my relationship's terrible, right? And then she also was like, what is it about men who cheat? Like, she was on this like self-discovery of like, well, what is it? Like, what? Right. Why do they do it? And she kept asking all these different men, and I love that subplot where she's like, I'm just intellectually curious. Like, why do you guys cheat?
I'm just trying to do a little psychology project down here in Brooklyn. Don't ask questions.
This is a double-blind study, and I'm trying to figure out
it
what
will
the
be
deal
peer-reviewed. It will be replicated.
And her conclusion was that men are afraid of death.
Yeah. And she says that to the husband at the end. She's like, guess what? You're going to die someday. And I was like, hell yeah. We all will, but hell yeah to that.
I mean, Katie, we are just young, blossoming flowers. But when we get older in life, I get it. I think death is a scary thing, and I get it, you know?
Yeah. Well, speaking of death, Bridge, there is a scene that I didn't know what was happening at all. At fucking all. This is where I figured out old man was grandpa. He has all these dogs. Thank God there's dogs.
Five of them.
Automatically, movie goes up in points because there's dogs. Grandpa has the dogs. Grandpa is the oldest man I've ever seen in my life, but he walks the dogs every day.
Oh my God.
Bridge, not unlike Nosferatu. Okay. He also had dogs.
Honestly, you give him the long nose and pointy ears, he's a vampire. He was right there. He's right on the line.
He can go date Lily Rose Depp. Listen, but there's a scene where he brings the dogs to it looked like a graveyard. And were the dogs peeing on a grave? And whose grave was that? Don't tell me it was grandma's.
I feel like he was one of his old buddies, but it could have been grandma.
What if it was?
Because a bunch of his buddies were with him. I didn't get it either. I was like, oh, is this what old people do? They just like go to funerals all the time? Because that's fucked.
But they were outside. And then I was like, what are we even talking about? I don't even know what they talked about. I was like, is this just a dog peeing scene?
Also, did your closed captioning... Like, I use closed captioning because
I don't.
Totally, horribly not able to hear. And then it would flip between English and Italian, and then it wouldn't translate the Italian. So I was like, So did you get any insight into what he would say in Italian?
No, Grandpa spoke Italian. I don't know Italian. So when I hear Italian, I don't know.
Did it do closed captioning? And
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
No, it was just like, Grandpa's saying Italian words. Get over it. Every time Grandpa said things, I just felt like he was like being like, you guys are annoying. And I was like, correct, Grandpa.
Scene at the end where he goes, I'm so confused.
Oh my God, yes!
I was like, we all are, Grandpa.
That's what I wrote. I was like, same, but we're here and we're scared together and it's great. Oh my God, what a day.
Okay, so Cher is like a vibe, okay? She's
great.
Like, I was married to the love of my life. He got hit by a bus immediately. And now I just kind of have this like Eeyore Dark Cloud vibe. But I'm very like, she had a great rhythm. Like, she was very like pessimistic, but like had some forward moving action. And she was like, I definitely want to get married. And like, let's get the show on the road. Even to the point that she was like, we're getting married in a month. Get the show on the road. Yeah. I'm not fucking around.
She's like, I got a timeline.
Bip bop boop. And I read that she really loved playing this character because it was like she liked before meeting Nicolas Cage character because she got to be kind of like uglier in the sense of like not Cher. You know, Cher's always
her
known
hair
as,
was
like,
hiding and I was sweating.
Well, and I think she liked just being kind of like bossy and not always so like perfect and sexy and accommodating and like, you know, like, you know, when you see certain celebrities in films, you're like, that's a celebrity. She looks just like
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She just looked like, you know, an average person and talked average and it was like refreshing. But then by the end of the movie, you're like, oh, that's like Cher. Like, she's Cher. Like fabulous. She's there fucking she is. Kicking a can with red heels with great hair and excellent lipstick and like having a ball.
Oh my god!
So I thought that was I really liked her stuff and I really forgot how good of an actor she is. You know, because I feel like later in life she's become a little bit of a meme with her like audacious lines here and there. But she was a great actor for years.
I believe she's dating a man who's 40 years younger than her, and he like worships the ground she walks on. And I'm like, you know, Cher, you do you.
You do you, Cher.
Show up for Mamma Mia 3.
Loretta Castorina, let's
Loretta. Well, guess what? Loretta is gonna go meet Ronny. And she tries to call, and then, like, he hangs up on her, and then she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm Cher. I'm coming to the goddamn bakery.
I mean, I love
Why she's never gone to the bakery that is the same name as her now fiance.
In the same area?
It's literally, it's down the street. I mean, it's walkable. I'll never know.
She didn't even know he had a brother. I was like, lady.
And it's called their last name, like, Brothers Bakery. And I was like, is there more scandal we don't know about? Like, that's what I thought the scandal was going to be, was like, oh, he, like, fucked up my business. And I was like, I could see that because his brain is not functioning well at all. The man needs something. I don't know. But yeah, we meet Nick Cage, and boy, howdy, it is an underground, the Titanic bakery. There is a line where he says, bread is life. And I was like, correct. And then he also is like, but I don't have a life because I work, and Johnny gets to have a life, and this is bullshit. And then he was like going crazy. And then there was a lady crying off to the side, and she was like, I love him. And I was like, who are you? Who's he? What are we doing?
I was thinking about her the whole time. I was like, wait, so Cher rolls up and like starts dating this guy, and this poor chick has been in love with him for 5 years and nothing. She's just coming to work every day, hoping the bread guy looks at her.
I kid you not, Bridge. When they were at the ending scene where the doorbell kept ringing and more people coming in, I was like, is that bitch gonna come in here and propose to Nick Cage? Yeah, she's like, give me the man. Oh my god, I can't.
When you first see Nicolas Cage, I'm gonna say it once, Katie.
Just once.
It's the eyebrows. It is so refreshing.
The eyebrows.
To see some non-symmetrical,
super hairy,
bushy, hairy,
very, very hairy,
fucking Italian, like, beautiful, ridiculous eyebrows. And Nicolas Cage turns around with those baby blues and those absurd eyebrows, and I was like, I love it.
He had a little bit of
what he was saying, a little mullet,
little bit of Ace Ventura hair where it was like sticking out, like, you know, like, and his chest hair was out and about, and
he was hot. Wait, did you think he was hot? Once he showered?
When he showered, I was like, okay.
Like for the opera?
I go to the opera. Yeah, I was like, I'll go. And he wore the leather gloves, and I was like, damn it, those are doing it for me.
They are. And the white little scarf, which I thought is usually pretentious, I loved it.
Yeah, no, he was cool.
I loved it.
He's a good character because when you meet him, you're like, oh, a stranger danger. Like,
yeah, he's crazy.
Swipe left on Tinder, Cher, don't do it. But instead, she's like, let's go fucking chit chat, you crazy man. Also, let me make out with you. And then they go in his apartment, and I don't know how long they're there for. They're like just kind of talking. And then Cher goes on her own monologue about how she knows everything about him, that he doesn't even know. Very psychology, Bridge. And I was a little bit like, should I do this? Is this going to get me to...
I love that.
Make out with someone?
Should.
I don't know.
You should do that. Let's do it.
Where I just kind of am like, this is who you are because I said so. And you're dumb and you don't know it, but I know. And
I love it.
And let's
call him a wolf.
And they make out. And then they bone. And it's a great day. And then they're like, well, that was great.
Okay, but hold on. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
When she sits with him, one of the things that I thought was interesting was the whole wolf thing.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. A lot of wolf references, and I wondered, is it because it's about the moon? Is it like the wolf-moon connection?
I guess it's the wolf-moon connection, but I also think, like, the word moonstruck, right, just means like you're so, I don't know.
Like your love.
You're
enamored.
Right. You're enamored, obsessed with somebody out of nowhere. You just can't even believe it. And so, yeah, I could see the whole like wolf thing of like just chasing after that. But I also feel like they used that line because they had that other random scene with the man and the or the husband and wife in the store talking about, she's like, you're a wolf, you're just looking at women. And, you know, there was this very kind of like intense, like men being like beastly and just like, you know, taking over women kind of thing.
Guys, and Nosferatu. Sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry. He is everywhere. Okay.
But what I was surprised about with the scene is she was just like, I couldn't care less. Like, oh, you think your life's hard because you like fucked up your hand? Like, the love of my life got hit by a bus like that. She goes, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to get fucking married. Get your shit together. That made me laugh so hard. It's like, what is the psychology term when you're like trauma comparison and you're like trauma topping, but like when you're like, no, my trauma's worse, go fuck yourself.
Trauma dumping.
But is it like, you know how you like top someone? Is it trauma topping? Like your trauma isn't that bad, mine's worse.
I think you just coined that term, so now
really?
It's a term.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I felt like she said that. She was like,
I
couldn't care less that you lost your hand, go fuck yourself. I lost the love of my life to a bus. And I didn't understand where the kiss came from. Were you prepared for the kiss? Because I wasn't.
I mean, I think I was a little bit like, well, Cher, it could have been a phone call. You asked for whiskey.
True.
It's the daytime. You trying to hang. Like, Cher's like, I got a secret agenda. You know, the hand also, Bridge. I did think of Happy Gilmore. So sorry. I know this came out before Happy Gilmore, but we all thought of Chubbs, right? Rest in peace. But also, like, that's not... I don't know. It was a pretty good looking hand. We never see him without the wood on. So, because I thought that's where it was going to go, where he was like, I'm a monster. And then I was going to be like, oh, doesn't age well. But he always has his wood hand attached. So I was like, okay, I guess you can't bend those fingers, but like,
he's making love just fine.
Yeah, like you shaved your face and I don't know, we're all doing good. And he does get brownie points, men, if you're listening to our Moonstruck episode on Sisters Who've Seen It. After they have their, maybe if we'll call it a date, whatever, he immediately is like, we got to hang out again. And that's a green flag.
That's a big green flag.
Big green flag. He's planning the next date. He's inviting. He's giving the details. He's making it the very next day.
Yeah, don't be coy. Just go for it. If you want to share, go for it.
And it's about, like, something he's passionate about, which was the opera. Because I felt like the movie was, like, when you meet Nick Cage, you're like, oh, no, he's so scary. I don't know about it. But then his character arc is, like, no, he's, like, a good person. But, like, he just needed someone to calm out his bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's Cher. And now he's like, okay, I've been reset. Mentally
It
reset.
was very self-loathing. I did feel this was a little bit of like the Love Actually of 1987 because I was like, how do you love her? You don't know her. Like
the timeline was a little quick. Okay.
Yeah. She's like, I love you. I'm like, you just met. Stop.
They did just meet, but
stop.
But Bridge, Moonstruck.
I guess when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's a motherfucking more. This could have gone into like sci-fi like territory if it was like, wow, everyone is falling in love because of this fucking moon. Shit.
And it's just Will Smith
who are we gonna marry?
Behind the moon, and he's like, me and Tommy Lee.
Oh my god. Yeah, I love the opera. Well, I love the makeover scene with Cher because we love a makeover montage. That's funny. And she kind of was like, I'll go to the opera, but only so you show up at the wedding and then I never want to see you again. And we're all like,
love it.
Yeah, you don't care about him. And then she's like, well, let me get my hair done and my nails done and let me go shopping. And
And meanwhile, her freaking dad is going on cheating dates with Lottie, who's a little like, you know, I don't know, ridiculous
she
other
looks
lady.
like Blanche Devereaux from the Golden Girls. And I was like, Blanche, I love you, but you got to get out of here.
She absolutely did. And she wore hot pink to the opera. And he was so mad because she was like so widely seen. And then he runs into his daughter. I cannot.
I don't get it. And then she's like, what are you doing here with this guy? And he's like, who's that guy? And I was like, he's a guy, okay? We haven't been married for 80 years like you two ding-dongs. Jesus Christ.
Well, and the dad never liked her fiance, Johnny.
Yeah.
So I think he was like, I thought it was kind of funny when after they all are exposed at the opera and then Johnny comes home early from the trip. He's like, Johnny, I'm not going to tell you a lot, but I'm going to tell you to not go on any other longer trips. That's all I'm going to say. And then Johnny's like, I don't get it. Because you're not saying anything. And I just thought, this is the best dialogue ever. This is how real people talk, which is
they don't talk. Yeah.
They don't talk. Talk. And then you have funny people being like, wait, what are you saying? And then they leave the room. And that's my experience of talking in real life. Katie?
Yep.
Do you have any comment?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty, relatable. And, I don't know, like, the mom does suspect this cheating, too. And she even says to Cher before the opera scene, she's like, I think he's cheating. And Cher goes, he's too old to cheat. And I was like, never underestimate the trash of men. Okay? Any age.
I'm sorry. Men, if you're listening to this and you're over the age, I'm going to give you 70. If you're listening, 70-year-olds.
All of you. So many.
Why are you cheating?
I don't get it.
Like,
I don't get it.
Threesome if you want to be wild and crazy, but really, why are you cheating? Gross.
I don't know. They need to snap out of it time, and it's fucking weird. But hey, guess what? Because now mom is like, I don't want to cook for myself, so I'm going to go to this restaurant. Apparently, every night at this restaurant, this old professor is getting drinks thrown in his face by students. Well deserved, but I'm confused. Why is this so often? Like, to the point where I was like, is he a performance artist? And this is like,
is this just Andy
like
Warhol?
Yes, it's just like every night I'll do the same thing.
She though does the best. She says the best lines to him during this though. No,
this is where I was like, you are Cher's mom because you have the same vibe where you're calling men out on their bullshit, and it's like she's too young for you. Like, you're fucking old.
Yeah.
You're fucking old. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're right. And she's like, yeah, I know I'm right. Women are right. And I was like, yeah. I'm in the back of the restaurant like, yeah. Believe women.
But then even when she walks home with him, she's like intrigued that he finds her attractive. And he's like, let me walk you home. And I think she feels flattered, especially thinking she's getting cheated on. But then when she gets home, I loved her line where she looks at him and she goes, you're a little boy. Trying to be bad. You're just, you like feeling bad. I thought that is the most cutting yet sophisticated line ever because he was into it. He was like thinking it was a compliment. And then she just like walked away with her head shaking. And I thought, this sums up so much garbage in a 10-second dialogue.
Because he's like, I can come in. And she's like, nah.
She's like, and he goes, that whole house is yours? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, get out of here.
Go.
Also, we passed by Grandpa like a minute ago, and nobody said anything.
That
Grandpa,
was awkward.
So.
And Grandpa was so mad at her.
Grandpa was like, just saying Italian, probably curse words for all we know with that whole scene. How dare you? And the dogs are like, we're just trying to walk. Oh my God. Yeah, it was, I don't know, because I really wondered if once they introduced the dad cheating, and then I knew that Cher was going to hook up with the brother, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if everyone just cheats on everyone? And like, I don't know.
I mean, kind of.
And it kind of happens, but the mom doesn't really, I don't know.
The mom doesn't cheat.
She's do it as like, yeah.
I thought Johnny, when he was like, I'm back from, Italy, I thought he was going to say, I found a woman there.
Oh my God,
mom,
me too.
Like, introduced me to or something. But his whole thing was like, it's a miracle my mom is now alive. And so you're bad luck, Cher, so I'm getting rid of you? Like, what in the fuck?
I don't know, because also Cher, she knew about his mom and was like, his mom's the worst, so hopefully she dies. And then when he was like, she's not dying, and Cher was like, that's the last straw. This lady's not dead. I gotta get out of here. And I was like, I mean, yeah, you're choosing a husband, but you're also choosing in-laws.
You are choosing in-laws. That shit is real. And you don't, her dad being like, I don't like this guy. I'm like, kind of deserved, because he just ditches her because he thinks she's bad luck. I can't.
It was a lot. And Cher is holding Nick Cage's wooden hand as they walk, and I was like, that's correct. And this is just a great day. And Nick Cage rolls up to the house and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Nobody asks how he knew where she lived, but it's fine.
Nobody even knew his name. They were like, who are you? And he's like, hello, ma'am. I'd like some oatmeal. I was like, what?
Now I'm having breakfast.
I have so many questions.
Well, because he was like, I'm here to meet your family. And I was like, oh, this is Love Actually. We're just hitting the pedal to the floor, bitch. Get married. And, but that scene was so fucking funny because it's just a room full of random adults. It was like, I don't know. I keep thinking of like a sitcom where it's like, hey, everybody, it's the encore. And everyone walks out like, we're here too. We're all part of the show. And I was like, okay. Well, everybody's having breakfast.
Your comment on it being like a play, that final scene when they're sitting at the table, the way the camera had to be shot, they did base it off of play.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
They had to have these like multi-cameras set up like that. Because it was a weird shot that there was like all of them in this tiny room.
Well,
I mean, it was literally like 10 people in a room.
The aunt and uncle, I like them, but they appear because there was, again, a random subplot we all forgot about where Cher took a bunch of money because she's like their tax person or whatever.
It's a Wonderful Life.
And she forgot to drop it at the bank. Oh my God, could you fucking imagine if Mr. Potter got the money and then we're just, I can't, Bridge. Pottersville!
We're all of a sudden in a Choose Your Adventure and now we're in It's a Wonderful Life. Cher would be like, why am I here?
Cher would have absolutely saved Clarence. Don't get me started.
She'd be like, Clarence, what the fuck? I'm not going to kill myself. Are you kidding? I'm Cher. I'm the coolest motherfucker out there.
Go yell at everybody and fix it.
She's
Snap
like,
out of it.
God, this Potter needs to be written a riot act.
Oh my God. But it was just like a lame excuse to get the aunt and uncle there. And I was like, that's fine. Bring them on down. Get them in here.
Well, the uncle was like, I feel like he was kind of witchy because he was the one that was like, have you guys seen the moon? Have you seen the moon?
Is that me?
He's like, your father one time, I didn't know if I liked him because he saw the moon and he was out in the streets. And I'm like, clearly he was cheating again under the moon?
I think that's what he was doing?
Yeah.
I thought he was like throwing rocks at her window to get her attention.
Maybe.
Oof. I mean, I might be giving him a lot of credit though. Your theory's probably right. But yes, the moon and the wolves.
Tell you.
I just laughed really hard at Johnny being like, I can't marry you. And then Cher starts yelling at him. And then Nick Cage is like, wait, this is a good thing. And then she's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm gonna show up at your funeral wearing red. And then blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, we're done. We're through. And then literally Nick Cage is like, okay, so now you got that out of your system.
You want to marry me?
Want to marry me over this bowl of oatmeal? Also, I don't have a ring. And he also didn't kneel, but she didn't care. And that's called something.
That's called a better match.
Better match, we'll say.
Better match. Although they both gave each other hickeys. I don't know about that.
They did say love bites a lot.
Hickeys are acceptable in 1987?
They were in a weird place, too.
Are
they were like
acceptable now?
Maybe.
A couple years ago, I did teach some students that would have wild hickeys on their neck. And just so you know, students, the professors see. And I laughed so hard in my head, thinking like, you go, Samuel, I don't even know their names. But literally, I just was like, are hickeys still a thing? I was thinking that when she's like, the mother was like, you even got a hickey on your neck. Like, get your act together. Go put some makeup on it. A love bite. Go put some makeup on it. I was like, oh my God.
She fucking didn't. And then he had love bites, and they were just...
Oh my God, just spitting and biting.
Being Nosferatu's. Little lovey Nosferatu. He is everywhere. I'm so sorry. And then this is where Grandpa starts crying and he goes, I'm so confused. And they're all like, yay, let's celebrate.
By the way, Johnny is in the corner and like he gets handed a champagne and he's like, what happened? I'm like, you did this, Johnny. You're
this is
a weirdo.
Your fucking fault, Johnny. We're all here.
God,
we're all scared.
It's so absurd.
Wow. Yep. It ends up on a weird close-up of, I don't know who these people are. Are they grandpa, grandma? Are they great grandpa, grandma? Are they ghosts? Are they aunt, uncle? I don't know. There are people. And the movie's like, bye. We're Italian.
I do not know. I just want to know, what would you watch or not watch it?
I think, I'm a hard sell on rom-com. Was this even rom-com? Or was it just like romance?
I don't know.
Rom-dram.
Rom-dram.
Dram-rom.
Dramedy.
Oh, it says romantic comedy, drama, romance. It's all of the above.
That hurts my head.
I might watch it again. Maybe I'd watch it with an Italian friend.
To
be like
Mel?
Well, Mel, I do want to text Mel and be like, do you know this movie? What do you think? What's the accuracy?
Is it real? Yeah.
Did your grandpa have 80 dogs? You know?
That would be so great.
I know your grandpa didn't have that, but I'm going to ask, so. Yeah. What about you? Would you watch or don't watch?
Absolutely watch it. I thought this was so fun.
It was fun. And it's not a long movie.
I mean, it's a piece of cake. And Cher is so good.
Cher.
I thought she was great. And the dialogue was great. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Bridge.
I'm ready. It's 2025.
My pick.
What are we doing?
So I had a lot of thoughts, but you know me. I like to change up the genre. Okay. And we're doing a little bit of a more manly movie. A little bit more man. But like something. So we're totally different direction. We're in the 80s still. We're going on the earlier end of the 80s. This is 1982. Okay. This God, the first category for this movie sucks. I don't even want to say it. This is a sci-fi, like straight up.
Okay.
Straight up sci-fi. A lot of other words I'm seeing are dystopian, action drama, cyber thriller. What? Features at least one actor we have done a movie with.
Okay.
This is a movie, it's had remakes. I think the concept and story is like super fun and like a little existential, dare I say.
Wow.
And I'm so curious if you've seen this.
Oh.
And if you haven't, I think it'll be really interesting because there are some like little twisties in it. So this is, I'm going to read the one sentence. Well, here's the title. A Blade Runner must pursue and terminate 4 replicants who stole a ship in space and have returned to Earth to find their creator. We're watching Blade Runner.
Okay, you gave it away.
It's Blade Runner.
I have never seen this.
Oh! Well, director is Ridley Scott, who did Alien. He's great at space.
Bring it.
Starring Harrison Ford. He is our lead in this movie.
Ooh.
And he is the Blade Runner.
Wait, Harrison Ford is Blade Runner? I never knew that. Runner.
Yeah, Bridge. He's running the blades.
I really thought you were gonna tell me.
Not this movie.
Who's the one that was married to Demi Moore forever? Bruce Willis. I thought you were gonna tell me Bruce Willis for whatever reason.
No, it's Harrison Ford.
Wow, bring it, I love a Harrison Ford movie. Let's do it.
Harrison Ford, Rutger Hauer, who is one of the replicants, which are like people, but they're not people. They're like robots, but they look like people. You can't tell. But the Blade Runners can tell. Sometimes.
This is so random, but have you seen the Harrison Ford video with David Blaine? And
what?
David Blaine freaks out Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford tells David Blaine to leave his house.
No, but I love
that. Have you seen this? I'm going to send this to you immediately.
No, but I do love the David Blaine parody video where they're like, he just pissed orange soda. Cheez-Its.
Okay, this feels like a bucket list. I've had to see this movie and I never have.
It's a depiction of the future. If the future was a dirty city and we're all scared. So, yeah. All right. Well, Bridge.
Yeah.
Just want to say, if God.
What?
A lot of the comparisons I feel like I don't want to do because it's like a lot of cheating. Bridge, if you and if you God.
Oh, the editing.
If you hate somebody, this is where we're gonna go because this is the least. I don't know. If you hated somebody and you somehow knew they were going to be on a plane and you watched them at the airport on the plane, and I was there too, I'm going to turn to the people around us. I'm going to say, you know people on that plane? Because I just put a curse on it. That's right. That plane's going down. And I probably would get arrested because, like, scary times.
Yeah.
Maybe if I looked like an old lady, people just giggle, like Cher. So, in a way, that's for you because I don't want to do a cheating comparison for you ever because I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
Okay.
I would say if you were dating someone that stunk, I would hope that they forced you to meet their awesome brother who's way better, and then you just end up with them, and I'll totally deal with the other guy and just tell him to go deal with his mommy issues, and then you can just go be in love and get your hair looking fabulous.
Love that.
Right?
Opera. Oh my God. I love a man with culture. Yes. And listeners, if you would date showered Nick Cage from this movie, I mean,
I love it.
Looking good, okay? In that suit.
I think he looks great.
You know, he paid for the tickets and drinks. So again, we got green flags all around.
Totally.
And if you think that Grandpa was confused and we all were confused. It's like we were till we weren't.
We were so confused.
Yeah. If you're that. And if you think that dogs are great and the movie did get points for the dogs. There were dogs. There were shares. There were laughs.
There was hair.
There was hair. There was Cher. I can't think of anything else to rhyme with that. But, you know.
I love it.
If you think all that, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts along with some other podcasting apps. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes in a list, and we look at the list every now and then, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Give us money.
Woo!
Then you could buy merchandise.
Woo!
And if you're lucky enough, you could look like Cher one day.
Wow. Dream big. Dream big, blow out your hair. All right?
I tell you.
That's all you need. When the moon hits your eye, you'll be Moonstruck. Pizza pie.
Big pizza pie.
Yes, so check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right, well, we'll see y'all next week for Blade Runner. I don't know any quotes.
I don't know any quotes either because I haven't seen it. Harrison Ford.
I do know one quote, but it's sad, and it's kind of at the end, and it might be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, we'll be there in the future.
Watch Cher. Have fun with this movie. Have some meatballs, and we'll see you for Blade Runner. Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye-bye. I love you.
I love you from Blade Runner.
Bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.